Joe Biden's economic plan will usher in the mark of the beast. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Brakawadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatam to the hopefully elect. Alright. Now I saw this video. This is something I've had queued up for a while. And dealing with Joe Biden's economic plan, and completely went over my head. Because the elders that I watch, all right, they pretty much explained how if Joe Biden gets into office, if he gets past inauguration, he will more than likely be the guy to do it. Concerning the NWO, the New World Order and issuing in the mark. All right, this guy would definitely be the guy to do it. And like I said, I had this video queued up for a while, and I just so happened to watch it today finally, and it just makes all the more sense with his whole economic plan regime, and what he plans on ushering in. All right. And again, it'll definitely lead to the mark of the beast, which is right around the corner. All right. So I'm going to play this video.
Biden's economic plan not only will affect recovery from the financial hit of COVID-19, it'll also affect your wallet. And joining us to discuss how.
And how will it affect your wallet? Being the fact that once the mark comes around, all right, there won't be no need to have one. All right. There won't be no need in carrying a wallet, because all your information will be inside this the chip, all right, which again is the mark of the beast spoken about Revelation 13.
It's Quick Takes Madison Mills. Quick Take to start. Let's talk about how the Biden administration, or the Biden campaign rather, campaigned on this idea of expanding access to affordable and safe credit and helping younger generations build up their credit scores. How will the Biden?
Yeah, because being that especially the the younger generation, they're so everything is geared towards convenience. So the younger generation, all right, they're all into this technology and things of that nature. So they'll be more prone to taking it.
And campaign administration rather do that.
That's right, Renita. You said it so well. The Biden administration to be really campaigned on this idea of transparency and harsher regulation.
The transparency, you see, because again, things are moving more towards a digitalized way of doing things, more contactless way of doing things. All right.
A key aspect that Biden has proposed here, though, is the idea of a federally backed credit bureau. So the government would be much more in control of this credit.
So you see, the government, and even more so the elites, because pursuant to Revelations, the 18th chapter, all right, it's more about control, because that's what they want. That's their end. That's the end game. At the end of the day, they want control, complete control, and complete dominance. And taking that mark, all right, again, pursuant to Revelations 18, you pretty much selling your soul.
Two things that I really want to zero in on here for our audience is that Biden wants to kind of expand the traditional idea of the credit score in this country, and especially for people who, like me, are millennials or even younger Gen Zers, we don't necessarily buy a home or buy a car, and so we don't have those more traditional opportunities to build up our credit. Biden is recognizing that and saying that things like your utility bills or your rent payments could all be factored in to that overall credit score, which is something that really resonated with younger voters on the campaign trail. And they're very excited about this idea of expanding access to the credit scoring system in the U.S.
Now, that's pretty.
So that credit score system. You see, and the first thing that came to mind when I saw this video was China. If you pay attention to the credit-based system that they got over there in China, all right, and you see how that operates. You just look into that, the China-based credit system that they got over there in China. That's basically what Joe Biden is what he's going to bring here, which again, that's going to issue in the mark. All right, because again, everything is going to be, all your information, your banking system, everything's going to be on this chip that they want to give. They want to chip everyone. That's the end goal. They want to chip everyone, microchip everyone. All right, and with that, all right, again, the elites, they'll have complete control. They will be able to track your money, track your spending. All right. There won't be no more sending in mail and things of that nature. Like if you owe the government anything, they just take it out. All right. It'll be complete control. You speak against the government or anything, you say you're having a conversation, you have any, you say any type of specific code words or anything like that, because, dealing with the mark, all right, it's going to be linked to a database. All right. Which again, it's just going to have all your information on it, and pretty much, if you don't comply with anything that the government says, any new laws, rules, regulations that the government puts out, all right, you can pretty much make yourself a target, and again, it's about control.
Interesting, because the Biden administration is also pushing for broader banking regulations, limiting predatory lending practices. That could be with credit cards, that could be with home loans, anything else. How will that effort go forth?
That's right, Renita. The key word here is transparency. We've heard this from both Biden and Harris throughout
You see that transparency. All right. There won't be need for walking around with cash. All right, because again, being that we live in a society where, it's almost unheard of to be walking around with cash. All right, it's getting to that point where cash is becoming more and more obsolete, and even more so, certain places they don't even accept cash anymore. All right, having physical money around is becoming a thing. It's becoming a thing of the past. All right, and that was all strategically set up. Because again, the elites, they want to be able to control, track, trace everything. And once they start coming out with these chips, all right, there won't be no more, funny money or side hustles or anything like that. All right. Because again, once they start coming up with these chips, all right, it's going to have all your information. They'll be able to track, trace everything, And, you know, again, it's all linked to our database. So they'll be able to know everything.
Campaign trail, and it's something that we're expecting to hear from them more as Biden enters office. But one thing I think is really interesting here is that Biden has specifically talked about credit card companies targeting what he's called vulnerable populations, groups like students and veterans, and he's saying we really want to make sure that.
And more so, all right, they're talking more so about the you know, the Israelites, more so Jake. All right, being the fact that, you know, we're on the bottom of the food chain. All right, and you know, we're more prone to, or Jake is more prone to relying and depending on the government and needing the one of all things. All right. So again, you know, the target more so will be Jake. You know, the elites of this world, they create conditions for us to be basically broke. All right. And they feed off that. You know, they create conditions for us to be, they create these harsh conditions for us so that we can, you know, so that we can depend on the government, you know, for a lot of things. And again, you know, that was all strategically set up. All right. And with these lockdowns and restrictions, you know, as they come down more and more with these draconian laws and these draconian measures, all right, making it even more harder for us to, you know, survive and live. All right. Because here it is, you know, we're already living paycheck to paycheck. All right. Jake is already working 2-3 jobs to barely make ends meet. All right. Once they really start coming down and start making things even more difficult for us, all right, you know, Jake is, you know, all the more going to feel the need to, you know, depend on the government and ultimately take that mark.
People know what they're getting into before they sign up for a credit card. And so he wants to make sure that students, for example, are given all the information they need about interest rates and credit systems before they are signed into a deal with a credit card company that they aren't prepared for.
Madison, thank you so much for that report. We'll definitely be following up.
All right. So again, Joe Biden's credit score system, man. It's funny because I read some of these comments, man, and people are waking up. All right. Just read some of these comments. It says when the government starts regulating the credit scores, it will be the end of its usefulness. All right. So you see, because again, it's about control. All right. Once they issue in this system to where they have complete control of everything, all right, you can't speak against the government. I mean, you can't pretty much, man. People will be like robots out here, man. You know, just walking around and following orders. You know, in fear of, you know, whatever the consequences can be. All right. Again, you know, heavy fines and things like that. You know, heavy fines for jaywalking. You know, because again, you know, you won't get a notice. You won't receive a letter. You know, they'll just take it out. They'll just deduct it out of your chip. All right, and that's you know, that's pretty much, you know, living your life in fear, man. All right, you know, that's a bad way to live. You know, that's not living. You know, just read a couple more of these comments. It says this isn't expanding access; it's a power grab that will create a wider wealth gap. So you see, because again, it's about control. You know, it's about complete dominance and Esau ruling over your spirit. Because again, pursuant to Revelation 18, that's what they want. They want to control your spirit. Oh, you see this one. This comment here says Federal Credit Bureau smells like China. Yeah, like I said, you know, you just pay attention to China and look at their credit-based system. All right. That's what pretty much they want to bring here, but it's going to be in the form of that chip. All right. So one here says, and to monitor you and your credit score and your obedience, we just need to install this nano chip permanently into your body. So you see, again, man, people are waking up to the fact that the microchip is the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelations. You know, people are waking up to that fact. So again, this is why they gotta present in a way that is convenient for everyone. All right, you know, because don't be surprised, you know, once they start coming out with these chips. All right, you know, they can easily set it up to where, you know, because again, you know, for the most part, Jake, man, you know, Jake is in a lot of debt. You know, a lot of us are in debt in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We owe the, you know, we owe money. All right, but don't be surprised if, you know, once they start coming out with these chips, and you know, one of the benefits of taking this chip is we'll wipe your, you know, you give you a clean slate. We'll take away all your debt. All you got to do is take this chip, and then some. All right, they could say, you know, we'll take away all this. We'll take away all your debt. You got a clean slate, and we'll give you a $2,000. Well, because again, money will be obsolete, but we'll give you 2,000 credits, all right, which would be equivalent to $2,000. So not only will they take away all this, you know, all your debt, but they'll give you 2,000 credits added onto your chip, 5,000 credits added onto your chip, 10,000 credits added onto your chip. Don't be surprised, all right, because this is not a far-fetched idea. This is not a far-fetched thing. All right, you know, and again, you know, these are the steps, you know, like with the whole you know, vaccine, you know, and the jabs. All right, what are they proposing? They were proposing issuing $1,500 or $1,500 stimulus checks to those that got the vaccine, and that's more so targeted to Jake because, you know, in reality, man, you know, Esau, man, they don't. Jake primarily are the ones that need that $1,500. All right, they're primarily the ones that, you know, need that money. All right, because, you know, for the most part, to these other nations, man, that's really nothing. All right, Jake looks at that $1,500. You know, they think they're rich, man. They think they're balling, and go out and get them some spinning rims. All right, you know, get them a new stereo system and all type of, you know, all type of, you know how Jake is, man. Just their mind be on folly. But just look at that example. All right, this is how they can issue in the mark. All right, because again, you know, the mark of the beast is not coming; it's already here. All right, you know, I've said this before. You know, dealing with the mark of the beast, man. You know, it's all around us. It's in our phones. It's in our TVs. You know, you hear about smart TVs and things of that nature. It's in our vehicles. It's all around us. Now, the ultimate objective is to get it inside us. And you see, once you take that, that's when he's got you. That's when Esau he's got you. All right. And again, you know, because this is going to be the new way of. And go ahead and get it. Revelations 13. This is pretty much going to be your ticket to eat and being a functioning member in society, you know, as it's constantly been brought out. Revelations 13 and 16, it says, matter of fact, verse 14, because it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the nations, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. All right, but the point I want to get is in the beginning where it says, and he deceiveth them that dwelleth on the earth by the means of those miracles. All right, because again, you know, once they start coming out with these chips, all right, you know, Jake being in the simple mind that they're in, all right, it's gonna be godlike to these people. All right, and this is how, again, the great deception that's about to take place on this earth. All right, it's going to be in the means. It's going to be in the form of that chip. All right. Because again, you know, they can present in a way, the example I used before, they can present in a way, or your debt's cleared. All right. Might even, you know, give you some, you know, throw you some crumbs, or whatever the case, man. Whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, all right, you want to resist the deception, this great deception that's about to take place. All right, because you know throughout this year, throughout the years, you know, through the power of their technology, all right, because that's the miracles it's talking about here. All right, the power of the technology. You know, they've been buttering people up. You know, they've been buttering people up into accepting the mark willingly once it starts. Once it comes around. All right, because you know if they had this technology today, if they had it like back in the ancient world, it would be considered witchcraft. You know, you just look at technology today, man. Just look at the incredible things that they're able to do through the power of the technology. All right, and this is how the mass majority of the people are going to get deceived, and this is why mass majority of the people are going to end up taking the chip. So reading on verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." All right, and basically what they're talking about is a universal basic income. All right, and this is going to be the basically the new way of doing things. Like I said, you know, because what have they been talking about throughout this year? Contactless payment. Everything's going contactless. Everything's going digital. All right. And this is something that's going to be presented throughout the world. All right. Like I said, just look at what's going on over there in China. All right. Sweden, they're practicing this. I believe India, if I'm not mistaken, they're starting to, you know, come out with this technology. Japan. So a lot of other places have already adapted this, you know, this new method of doing things. All right. Just pay attention and you know, look about, look these things up. You know, because the best is always being saved for last, and America's being saved for last. All right, but nevertheless, this is going to be the new way of doing things. All right, the universal basic income. All right, and again, it's not only going to be the new banking system, the new money system. All right, but it's going to have all your information. And again, you know, this is why people are going to get deceived. All right, because you're not going to have to walk around with credit cards and social security. You're not going to have to walk around with any of that stuff. You know, all you're going to need is your chip. You go into the store, you got your chip. If you don't got a chip, you can't buy or sell. You can't function in society. Just like with these stupid masks. All right, at a lot of these places, all right, you can't even enter into the establishment without a mask, without a face mask. All right, and eventually it will get to the point where with the vaccines, all right, no vaccine pass, then you can't buy or sell. And ultimately it's going to get to the point where it's going to come down to these chips. All right, no chip, no, you can't buy or sell. You can't be a functioning member in society. This is where it's all leading to. All right, and again, you know, mass majority of the people, they're going to take it. Let me get this on 2nd Esdras 15 and I start at verse 3. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee." All right, and again, because the elites, they have wicked imaginations to microchip everyone. Right, and again, you know, you take that chip, man. There's no coming back from it. Ultimately, you're going to be destroyed. All right. But this is the plan of the elites. They want to microchip everyone. All right. But again, those of the faith, all right, we've got nothing to worry about, because somehow, some way, the Lord is going to provide a way. All right. Somehow, some way, he's going to make a way for his saints to eat. All right. He's going to provide shelter. He's going to provide all these things. All right. Because again, basically the elites, man, they're going to take away the livelihood of these people and pretty much force people in a position to where they have to get this chip. All right. Because again, you won't, I mean, they can, evict you from your home. You won't be able to work. You won't be able to do anything if you don't have this chip. All right. Again, just look at what's going on with the vaccines. All right. Certain employers are now, setting it up to where you have to get the vaccine in order to, work. Certain venues like sports arenas, Ticketmaster, and things like that, airlines. All right. You won't be able to fly without a vaccine pass. All right. But eventually it's going to get more intensified. It's going to intensify more and more. So eventually, again, you won't be able to, just go to your local grocery store without having a chip. You won't be able to eat. You won't be able to do anything. But again, all right, concerning those in the faith, they're not going to have nothing to worry about, because somehow, some way, the Lord is going to provide a way. So it says, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Jumping down to verse 6, it says, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, because again, the elites, they will end up chipping a lot of people, a mass majority of the people, man. All right, only less than 1% is going to make it out of this. Only 1% is going to end up being delivered. And I'm talking about the world population. All right. There's roughly between 7 to 8 billion people on the planet. All right. Less than 1% of that is going to be saved. And that's a very, very extremely small number. If you could imagine that. All right. But again, concerning these hurtful works, because again, taking that chip, man, ultimately, yeah, again, Esau, he's going to put his, little, he's going to present it, beautifully wrapped with the cherry on top and everything. But ultimately, it's going to do you more harm than good. Taking that chip. All right. And again, they're going to chip the mass majority of the people. All right. The hurtful works. All right. It also talks about in Job how they just when they're about to fulfill their belly. All right. The Lord's going to, end up messing up their plans. Because again, they're going to get very far. They're going to end up accomplishing. They're going to get very close to accomplishing the New World Order. All right. But nevertheless, it's written that, our deliverer, man, he's going to come to save the day, man. And, we're just hoping and striving to be of that number. So just a few more precepts I got here lined up. Psalms chapter 10 and verse 2 says, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Because again, there's always been a plot to pretty much destroy the Israelites. All right. Nevertheless, again, because like I mentioned earlier, they create these dire situations. They put us in such a tight hellhole. All right. That we're basically crying out to the oppressors for, in need of the want of all things, which again, it was all strategically set up, because they want people to be dependent on the government. That's what they want. So they create this because again, just looking at Jake today, man, look at the nation of Israel today, they're at the bottom of the food chain, and it says, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. So you see those same devices, all right, those wicked imaginations, all right, which they plan to microchip everyone. All right, this is the another part of the Bible that talks about the wicked devices. that they plan on, putting inside of us. This is their evil intentions. And again, because they talk all this sweet talk, all right, dealing with the microchips, being able to, heal the blind, cure the blind, and cure cancer, heal the paralyzed, and all these other things, all right. Eventually, it will ultimately do you more harm than good. All right. Because these devices, they're wicked, they're evil, they're very sinister intentions behind it, and what they want to do. All right. Going to Isaiah 32, and it says, Isaiah 32:7, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak right. So you see, all right, because again, that RFID chip ultimately, all right, there, like I said, there's a sinister intentions behind it, and ultimately, because like when you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, all right, the punishment for taking that chip, all right. Again, understanding the evil intentions behind it, because again, pursuant to Revelation 18, all right, when you read in Revelation 18, it talks about how they wanted to control your spirit, all right. Because that stuff, man, it has stuff that's what is it called? Things like, it's like patented and things of that nature. Basically, because once you put that in you, you're giving ownership of your spirit, of yourself, to Esau Edom, all right. And we don't belong to Esau. We belong to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, we belong to the Heavenly Father. But again, Esau being in his mindset, because in his mindset, he wants to be like the Most High, so he portrays himself as the Most High. So he wants ownership of us. So again, there's a more sinister meaning to, because I always say this to people, all right, dealing with the mark of the beast, all right, it goes a lot deeper than just buying and selling. It goes a lot deeper than that. All right. But nevertheless, all right, once you take it, you're giving ownership to Esau Edom. All right. And again, because it says here to destroy the poor with lying words. So again, like the example that I used, take this, you take this microchip, will clear out all your debt, and will give you an extra 10,000 credits, 15,000 credits. All right. Don't be deceived by the lying words. All right. Because again, scriptures talk about how Esau, they speak smooth words. They speak soft words. His words are smoother than oil. All right. But in his heart is war. In his heart, he's thinking on how to destroy you. All right. And that microchip is going to be the ultimate form. All right. And again, he is more so targeted to Jake. All right. Which we're considered the poor. All right. Again, us being on the bottom of the food chain. All right. We're the ones that are in need. We're the ones that are crying out. All right. And I'm not even talking about the elect. I'm, just Jake in general. Jake is crying out. Jake is tired of suffering oppression. Jake is tired of working all these jobs to barely make ends meet. Jake is tired. All right. Being the last one hired, first one fired. All right. So Jake, as a whole, man, Jake is considered the poor. It's more so talking about the righteous, the elect. But, just speaking as a whole, all right, Jake is in desperate need. And again, Esau is going to present this chipment is going to be like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. This thing is going to be the answer to all problems, the solution to all things. And best believe Jake is going to flock to it. So again, all right, dealing with Joe Biden's credit score program system that he wants to bring. All right, it's going to lead to the mark of the beast. So hopefully this was edifying. Once again, I'm going to give all credit to Yahweh Bashem El Shai, double honor to the apostles and others of great millstone. And until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.